Imagine this. It's late at night and you're walking out of the theater with a couple friends. You're all in unanimous agreement that the movie you just saw was really good. The first friend turns to you and says, "That was a great movie. Honestly, 9 out of 10. Your second friend says, "Totally agree. 5-star. You say, "Yeah, it was a great movie." What is up, guys? Today, I'm going to be going over my thoughts on what makes the best rating system for movies. As you notice in the little hypothetical I just set up, all of the friends are using a little bit different rating system. The first friend uses the 10 out of 10 system. The second friend uses the 5-star system. And you just say, "It was great." In most of my reviews, I have not given out a numerical rating to the movies because personally, I feel that full reviews are much more valuable given the fact that they can express very complex ideas and opinions about a film that a number simply cannot do. However, that being said, there is a real value to giving number ratings to film. Why is that, you ask? Pretty simple. A lot of times people just don't have the time to watch a full in-depth review of a movie before they decide if they want to see it or not. Most people are pretty simple. They just want to know, should I see the movie? Is it a good movie? Is it great? Is it okay? Is it terrible? That's what people want to know. People don't necessarily care about the history of the director, the complex themes, the cinematography, all that stuff. They just want to know, is the movie good? And frankly, numerical rating systems do a pretty good job at conveying a lot of information in an extremely simple form. Like I said before, this is far from ideal. A full in-depth review is superior, but when you don't have that time, you want to look to a number system. You want to say, hey, is this movie an 8 out of 10? Is it 4 stars? Is it 1 star? And based on that, you may decide whether to see it or not. However, the question still remains. What scale do we use? Do we use 10 out of 10? Do we use 5-star? Do we use 4-star? Now, in my opinion, there are problems with a lot of these scales. And I'm going to start off with the 10 out of 10, which is one of the most popular rating systems. I think the 10 out of 10 scale is very valuable for rating other things, but there's a reason why I don't think it's good to rank movies. Honestly, the problem with the 10 out of 10 system is that there are simply too many choices. With 10 numerical values, you can assign any one of those to a film. It could be an 8. It could be a 9. The problem with 10 out of 10 is what you can't really do accurately is assign words to these values. Let me explain, because it might be a little confusing. Someone might go see a movie that they think is really great. They love it. They think it's an amazing movie. So they give it a 9 out of 10 because that just seems like the thing to do. Oh, 9 out of 10. Well, it's not perfect, but it's really, really good. Someone else might have seen the same movie and had the same exact thoughts about that movie, but instead give it an 8 out of 10. They might say the exact same things. It's great, it's amazing, it's really good. Of course, it's not perfect, but honestly, this is an 8 out of 10 movie. Now, the problem with this is sort of the problem with any rating system is the fact that it's arbitrary. It's, like I said, you can't really assign, values of an opinion to numbers. It just doesn't make sense. However, with the 10 out of 10, you get this problem even more because now you have so many choices, so many different numbers to rank a movie that people are going to think the exact same thing and yet get into these really pointless debates about, well, what is an 8? What is a 9? It's all relative, of course, but it just doesn't do any good to debate the rating system when you can't really accurately assign a word, right? One word or a couple words to the number you're giving it. I also think people really get caught up in this kind of mental issue of giving out a 10 out of 10 because they think that for some reason giving out a 10 out of 10 means you think the movie is perfect. This really makes no sense because a movie is a piece of art. It cannot be perfect, right? It can be close to perfect in your opinion, but there's no way there's going to be any movie, no matter how good it is, that is going to be perfect. It doesn't really make sense. So I think people always just naturally, even if it's the best movie they've ever seen, are going to want to look more intelligent and more fair by giving it a 9 out of 10, saying, oh, well, it wasn't perfect. It had a few flaws, but it was really, really good. 9 out of 10. There's really no point of that. That doesn't accomplish anything, because then you're just setting the standard that a 10 out of 10 is an unattainable score, which is stupid, because then you might as well just make it out of 9. And of course, if we did that, people would start giving it 8 out of 9, right? So you kind of see how this system is not really conducive to actually creating good discussion and debate about the quality of a film. Rather, it's just really just assigning these numbers and debating what these numbers mean. Equally, there are other ways to rank a film. Probably one of the most prolific film critics of all time, Roger Ebert, uses the 4-star system. To me, I think this is really weird, but there must be a history to it. I know other film critics use it as well. The problem I have with this is the fact that it's really just essentially an 8 out of 10 system, because in this 4-star system, they often give out half stars, right? So you'll see 3.5 out of 4 stars. Essentially, you're just making the metric out of 8, right? We could just scale that up. It's simple math. If you're giving out half stars on a 4-star system, there are 8 possible values. And that's very similar. That's really just 2 values off a 10 out of 10. Now, they have their reason for this, of course, but again, I don't agree with it, because I think it's very hard to even be able to assign certain values to a system with 8. That's why my answer is the 5-star system. No half stars, no compromises. 5 stars. You can choose 1 out of 5 values to give a film. Let's get into this. For me, a 5-star movie could be summed up in one word. Great. You don't like great? Amazing. Fantastic. Ethereal. Whatever you want to choose. The best possible word. Just go in a thesaurus, look up great, amazing, and find all the synonyms for it. Any one of those words could be used to describe a 5-star movie. Moving down the list to 4 stars. Good. Maybe even really good, but a 4-star movie is simply good. 3-star. Decent. Fair. Alright. 3-star movie is a pretty average movie. It's not really bad, it's not really good. Going down to 2 stars. Bad. A 2-star movie is a bad movie. It's poor, it's not well made. It's not even decent, it's not even alright, it's just a bad movie. And of course, 1 star, in my system being the lowest possible score, is horrible. A 1-star movie is atrocious, it's awful, it's horrendous. Some people might think that they have this feeling that they would need to give out a 0 star for the worst possible movie, but for me, a 0 star is not even on the scale, because essentially that's giving no value whatsoever. For me, if it is a movie at all, it at least gets a 1 star. And I'm not giving out half stars, because if I gave out half stars, it would essentially make this a 10 out of 10 system again, and that's a problem, because then we're getting into that debate, what's a 9, what's a 10? In the 5-star system, it's very clear. There are very clear tiers of how good a movie is, and if someone wants to know how good a movie is, the 5 stars can accurately tell them, right? A 5 is great. A 5 is one of, it will go down in history as a fantastic movie. 4 is just really good, and so on down the list. That's why 5-star is the best numerical rating system for movies. And feel free to disagree. Feel free to comment below and tell me if you think I'm right, if you think I'm wrong, if you think there's a better system that I haven't even thought of. Talking about this, and it's actually quite interesting to me, and I might actually start using this 5-star system at the end of videos to rate movies, because some people that might be on a time constraint, that don't have the time to watch the entire review, that might be 10, 15, 20 minutes long, can just go to that, just see what I give the movie, and go from there. So let me know what you guys think. Do you like the video? Do you want more? Like I said, comment below. See you guys next time. Peace.